Yeah, what's poppin', boys and girls? You got your boy Nandre here. Welcome to another video. So for this video, I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys the replay of my 5.0 GP run. Now I would have tried to record this live, but I'm still like having issues trying to do that on stream and whatnot. So I figured I'm just gonna share with you guys the recording. So I can't do all 5 games at the same time because I talk way too much, and I can't really like speed that up. So I'm just gonna go ahead and try to go ahead and like break it down. Maybe like 3 games for one video and like 2 games for the next one, and we'll just go from there. Bam. So going into this, I decided to go ahead and play PDK, just because I usually like to try to play something that's a little bit like under the radar when I go ahead and like play my GP, or maybe just in general, just because I feel like that can give you give you an edge and give you some like nice like hidden percentage points. Just because like you'll find that like if you're playing something that's a bit more rogue, most people on average, or yeah, most like the meta sheep and whatnot, they will not know how to play around it, and they'll kind of get bodied by it relatively easily, like actually disturbingly easily sometimes. But yeah, so we're just gonna hop right on into the game. I think I'll go ahead and shoot and record the Portal games first, and yeah, Portal games and maybe the Forest games separately, and then just do both Dragon games, because I feel like that does it the best. Yeah. So this game will just be this recording will just be for the Portal. So versus Portal, typically speaking, it can go either way matchup. And it's actually not as Portal favorite as one might think, despite the fact that Portal is very good. Just because PDK does actually blow up most boards that Portal craft would make, despite even though they can actually shit out like a lot of like very high HP units, just because you have ramps so you can get the jump on them. Additionally, there's also Poseidon to block Noah, as well as Orcus, and lastly, just like, well, it also works with PDK as well. So I'm going second. Typically, when you go second, you want to try to have the Isla. You also want to try to find Roy as well, just because like those 2 cards help you like rest up the board state, because like they accomplish something in a nice way. So I find the Oracle and I find a Waters. I'm like, hey, nice. So he plays Paracelsus here. The second he plays Paracelsus, I'm like, oh, let me just go ahead and check and see what he mulligan, because I'm pretty sure, because like right now I'm like kind of making a read that like, oh, his hand that he might not have the Silva, and if he does, he won't have a Kukuru or anything like that. So I'm like, hey. As it turns out, I am in fact 100% correct. He does not, and I actually further top deck the PDK as well. So I'm like, oh, okay, awesome, this is amazing. So I can go ahead and play out Waters here. If he wants to play at Nicholas, he can play that out. That's fine. Instead, he just goes and plays out the Silva instead to go ahead and get his base damage in. He plays Kukuru here, and now here he could trade, or he could go face. You should honestly go face. The going face is actually way better. But I can understand the trading, because if you trade, you put yourself in a spot to play up Spinaria. That's like fine, because I still have the Evo. I'm still going to play up the Isla. Now here, the choice of 3-drop I play is actually very important. Now, really quickly, the best 3-drop I think versus Portalcraft, well sorry, versus Puppet Portal is Eliza. Eliza is so stupidly good. Just because like when you play her in Overflow, she essentially like negates Puppets. Puppets can't kill her, and your opponent has to do 1 damage higher than what they want to do in order to kill her. So for example, if you're trading, if Eliza's evolved, your opponent has to trade a Nicholas, or they have to trade they trade like Basilius into it or whatever in order to kill it, and she hits back hard. So it's like great. So what I'm going to do here is actually going to sack my Aficionado. Now, again, you might be wondering, but Nandra, why would you sack your Aficionado here? Like, aren't you going to play with PDK next turn? Well, that is true. I could play with PDK. However, I don't feel like I need to, because I know my opponent bricked a little bit, and I know that I'm probably not going to get Lococo'd, and if I do, he's probably going to Lococo on this turn. But here he just plays Seraphic Blade and plays a substitution, so it's like wonderful. So by playing it out this way and not getting greedy, I'm able to force out a ton of removal from my opponent, and I get to know that his hand is really just that weak. Like, he has a hand of someone who would like to be going second. Now here, once I realize that, I'm like, oh, okay, well, we're just gonna go in. We're just gonna take advantage of this, because like, try to take advantage of any situation that they're allowed to like, take advantage of. So because I pick up a second Oracle, I'm like, oh, let me just go ahead and ramp up twice, and with the Summoner and whatnot, and then fuel up a really good PDK the turn afterwards. So by doing it this way, I have 10 mana. With 10 mana and a PDK, you can either get two triggers or 3 triggers, sometimes 4 triggers, but to get 4 triggers, you have to have 2 Aficionados. So most realistically, with the hand I have, I'm only going to be able to get 2 triggers, but that's good enough, because you can't play anything that's like that big. Like, I think like the best thing he could do is like play like a naked Basilius, but I don't think he will. So I just go ahead and get to draw a massive 4 cards in addition to my natural card draw, and go ahead and pick up an Aussie as well, which is great, because I still have Evo points for it. Here he plays a Heartless Battle, but the Heartless Battle doesn't actually do anything. Like, Yeah, it doesn't actually do anything of value for him. And now you can just get to go ahead and play at the PDK. So I get to go ahead and play at the PDK. I'll go ahead and play at the Roy as well. And then lastly, I'll go ahead and evolve the PDK. So by evolving the PDK, you set yourself on in a really good spot. You can't use sub on it. He can't use Basilius on it. He can only use the Coco. He can only use it. He can only either use the Coco or wait for me to trade and then do it. But I never have to trade, like, because I always have the PDK damage just like blow up any board he would make. So now I get to hold the Roy spell in hand as well as Poseidon. So next turn I can do a massive 7 damage to his board without having to interact with his board as well. Well, by interact I mean like by trading or anything like that. So here he plays Hamlin. He then copies the puppet. We know he copied the puppet because his hand has been bad. His hand has been bad this entire game, and there's no way that he would like willingly hold back a 2-drop. Like I don't think he would be like insane to do that. So here he just evolves the trade. That's like fine. The damage is already done. I've already achieved what I need to achieve. So I can just go ahead and slam into the young Poseidon. Go ahead and hit him in the face for 6, and then just go ahead and pass it up. However, before I go ahead and decide to pass, I realize that, oh, well, I know he has 2 puppets in hand, so I want to go ahead and just, you know, lock my opponent out any way to possibly come back into this game, because I want to go ahead and play around Basilius, and by evolving the puppet, you get to play around Basilius. Well, I mean, you can also evolve the Basilius itself, but that plays into the Coco, so I like doing it this way, because this way he's hard pressed. Like, because if he has to play Basil, Basil can only get rid of the puppets and nothing else. Whereas if I don't evolve, he can get rid of the puppets. I'm sorry, he can get rid of the wards, and also the Isla by extension, and then lastly the Poseidon by trading. But here he just like plays Orc as he trades. That's fine. The damage is done. The game is over. The reason why the game's over is because like now I actually have lethal on board. So that's wonderful. So I go ahead and get the trade, play Roy spell, play Aussie, go ahead and slam it all face. Hey, we won. Easy game 1. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. It did help that my opponent bricked a lot, but again, it's like deserved bricking because like he made a very, very greedy mulligan keep. I don't think you keep Silva on the mulligan just because like you. Well, I don't think he keeps Silva on the mulligan unless your other 2 cards are like very, very strong. I think it's one that's like, oh, if you can like luck into it and get it and then have targets for it, okay, sure. But if you don't, it's bad. It's like dangerous to keep. Anyway, so I'll go ahead and trade you guys second portal craft game. So at this point, like this is like the game 3 or whatever. So going into this game, I was like pretty confident because like most times what happens is that in GP I've with the exception of like 1 GP run, I've either gone 0 wins or 5 wins. Like there's almost never an in between. And usually if I win my 3rd game, I usually know that, okay, well I'm just like set to win this. Like, you know, I'm just feeling the flow. So I go ahead and keep the Roy because I'm going first. Roy's a very, very nice keep because like it works either way. Like if I think I'm ahead, I can go and take out the Dragon Life Blade. If I think I'm behind, oh, Dragon Strife Blade instead. You know, easy peasy. So I pick up the young Feline. Feline is good to keep as well because I can go ahead and actually play it out here. By playing it out here, it discourages my opponent from playing Hamlin, which I know sometimes some of the Portal players, what they'll try to do is they'll try to keep a hand of like Hamlin plus a 2-drop or 3-drop, and then just go and like try to Hamlin the 3-drop or whatever, so this way they can make sure that they don't like brick. But by doing this, that prevents that. So. Additionally, as a 1/3, Feline doesn't die easily, and even if he gets the Kukuru plus Silva, he actually has to take damage, and if he takes damage, that means I can go ahead and kill it with White Frost Whisper. So it's pretty good for me. So here I go ahead and actually play the Roy. Now, honestly speaking, you can in fact you can and probably maybe should play this for the Dragon Strife Blade, but I choose not to do it because like the hand I have says that, oh, I want to just, you know, get started early. I don't want to be a victim. I want to be the aggressor. Like I want to be the person just, you know, bringing it home, like being like, hey, what's your answer here? What's your answer there? And so on and so forth. Because if he does have it here, he has to make a bump with his thing, and I can just bump back and then kill it. But here he plays the Silva, and then makes the trade vertically. Never make the trade vertically here. You want to make it horizontal. Sorry, not vertically. Sorry. You want to make it diagonally. I'm sorry. You want to make it diagonally. The reason why is because what have you accomplished here? Yeah, you push 3 damage, but I get to take away your board, and you have no threat of evolve. And I also went first, and you're the more aggressive deck, so you want to be on a spot where you can do that, right? But now he doesn't get to do it. So here I just get to go ahead and take my Dragon Life Blade, and real quickly, because you actually see this a few times in these videos. When Dragon does something like this, try to avoid playing at a creature if you can, or if you do, or if you absolutely have to play at a creature, make sure the creature is a 3x creature and they can pre-evolve that shit. So this way it doesn't die to Warbreaker. Like not getting Warbreaker is very important right now. But anyway, here he plays the Hamlin, and the Hamlin copies nothing. So I'm like, hey, okay, that's amazing. You're gonna go ahead and bully this guy, because as it turns out, the read that I made was correct. He's A, not really a strong player, and B, he bricked. So it's like wonderful. Like it's like the best case scenarios for us, right? So we're just gonna like slam down the Warbreaker. Now, honestly, you can actually evolve the Warbreaker if you like, but I actually don't like evolving the Warbreaker. Just because I don't really believe in it, but like the Warbreaker is just a transitory piece. It's not really like a main showcase kind of piece. So he plays Heartless Battle here. I'm like, oh, okay, sure, that's fine. Now here at this turn, I actually choke really hard, and like throw the game. Like exceptionally throw the game. So there are a lot of different plays to make here. Honestly speaking, the play I should have made, because this plays the no drawback. It makes the most sense on the board to play this. Is just play Basilius. Like when in doubt, just play Basilius. Sorry, not Basilius. Just play Poseidon. When in doubt, just play Poseidon. It's so good here because I get to go ahead and evolve, kill a unit. Did he play Lakoko? Yeah, he played Lakoko earlier. So like Poseidon's just like, you know, behind wards. I have a ton of removal, fetches me card, removal, ramp. I'm obviously never going to use this, but it's still got tagged with Warbreaker, so it's a 3/2, so that makes it a threat. And then just board development. But instead, I decided to go ahead and just, you know, go ahead and make some greedy plays. Now here, I actually just, you know, steamroll this guy and actually pick the PDK. Now here, actually, again, I choke because, like, it's been a hot minute. I mean, a hot minute. So I've been able to actually play and activate a PDK on five mana worth of mana. Because PDK got nerfed accordingly, so they can't deal with 2 drops anymore. And the only other 1-drop that I was played in Dragon, Ivory Dragon, is no longer in rotation. So the correct play was to play the PDK first, then play this out. The PDK will blow up this. You then get to evolve here, and your opponent just concedes because you get to float because you get to like have the Poseidon and other stuff in the back. So he can't do anything. But anyway, here I go ahead and choke, and like I said, I'm gonna make the trade here. This is a pretty big throw. If I establish the earlier you establish the PDK, the better it is for you, typically speaking. Just because, especially like again, we know that he's struggling right now. We know that he's struggling. He has a lot of like very heavy cards in his hand that he can't use. And if we just like, you know, kick him while he's down, we'll be able to win faster, right? But I don't. He uses the puppet here, and then he evolves over my guy, and that's like fine. It doesn't actually matter. Like it's one of those like I still have the PDK, like and I'm obviously, you know, still in the driver's seat right now, because even though yes, I have like less HP, I have more resources and probably better cards. So here I go and drop down the PDK, and then I'm gonna play the Fishnado. Fishnado gets me the cleanest kill. I'm not gonna evolve for face. I'm just gonna evolve to my PDK to protect it, on the option that he maybe has sub, because I don't want to get subbed and lose a PDK, because I can still lose if that happens. So I just want to put him in a spot where he can't play Lakoko. He can't play Lakoko, and if he does, he has to risk eating 1 billion damage. I still have, like, you know, Alizas and stuff in the back, so, you know, life is good. Life is good for an Andra right now. It's just very good. Of course, you know, he just like scoops it up and concedes. Yeah, so this game, as well as the first game, like, they're pretty good for me. Like they're pretty good, like, confidence boosters, just because, like, my opponents, they brick and they got accordingly punished both times, so that's, like, amazing. That's usually the kind of things you want to see, just because, like, it makes you feel, you know, a little bit pretty good about yourself, especially when you're, like, playing with, like, stuff in the line. Well, I mean, like, actually, like, important stuff, like, not like just, you know, ladder games or whatever, but actually, like, oh, whoa, flares and stuff. Like, oh, I guess flares are, like, not really that important either. But yeah, so that's like my game 1 and game 3. Like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and try to record all 5 games and just kind of try to, like, put them all up in one day. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, go ahead and leave a like, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Let me know what you guys think about this video down in the comments below. Thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you guys next time. Goodbye, my friends.